Hello, and welcome to A Place to Call Home. It's our weekly series where we talk about everything. My name is Porsha Evans. Welcome to the show today. My very special guest live in studio today to talk about a very important subject come from Avoyelles Parish, the Avoyelles Community and Youth Coalition. Our topic today is suicide prevention. I want to say welcome to each and every one of you. I have Mr. Lonnie Bridges, Mr. Joseph Johnson, Ken Gordon, and Miss Janet Miller, all here today to talk about this very, very important topic. And I want to start with you, Lonnie. I want to know why this conversation, especially this time of year.
Well, it's like many things, we need to spread awareness of a lot of academic. Personally speaking, I'm coming from the town of Cottonport, and we've been having a rash of occurrences, not only within our town, but within our Avoyelles Parish. And part of the coalition that we address are the needs for our youth and our community. And this is plaguing it. It's touching us all personally. For example, within the last 6 months, one of my son's 14-year-old classmate committed suicide. A neighbor 2 houses from me committed suicide.
And I'm sure for various reasons, one never knows why. But we're going to talk about some of that today and about just raising awareness and some things I've read about, how you identify, try to at least identify people or with people and what's going on in their lives. And I want to talk to Miss Janet Miller, who is here from the Louisiana Association on Compulsive Gambling, which I understand your group encompasses this topic, not only gambling, suicide, drugs, and a whole lot of other stuff. So welcome to the show today.
Thank
you from the state, and you're helping families with this problem throughout the state. You also told me a staggering statistic, in that Avoyelles Parish leads the state with the number of suicides right now. Is that right?
I think Lonnie has been doing the reading and the pulling together those stats, and we know that that each region has been getting hit in a different way. I think, what was it?
Yeah, Avoyelles Parish is currently at 14.6. The state of Louisiana as a state as a whole is at 11.1.
Is that high numbers?
11.1 is not bad compared to the U.S. national average, which is 11.8 for the nation. Now, this is 11.8 suicides per population of 100,000. So if you look at the state at being 11.8, the nation being at 11.8, Louisiana being at 11.1, Avoyelles Parish is at 14.6.
Oh, my.
Yes.
That's high numbers.
It's higher than the nation average.
And Mr. Gordon is here. He's in law enforcement. And you're Mr. Gordon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Gordon is here, and I understand that your group has a significance and a role in this as well.
Yes, ma'am. Our company, Eckertson Law Wraparound, reaches out to children that are at risk of out-of-home placements, and we help get the families connected to kind of services. But also, this is something that's passionate to me because I was a survivor of a teen suicide attempt.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
I was typically the happy kid, but I didn't fit the norm of where I grew up, a very rural community where you hunted, fished, or played basketball, but I was the reader, I was the art guy, I was the guy that liked the opera, so I thought that I was different, and I struggled with that. But my parents were supportive, and they still weren't aware until after the attempt. And a lot of families need to understand that they need to be involved in their children's lives. And it's not dangerous to talk to them about it. I encourage them to talk about it because a lot of times they need to know what's going on with their child's life.
Now, I do want to introduce Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
He's in law enforcement,
Yes,
and he investigates a lot of these cases and when they happen. We're talking suicide prevention, and I know that that has to be one of the hardest part of
Right.
your job.
Correct, because when you get on the scene, as family members are there, and you have to console them. through my career, I've been in law enforcement 20-something years, and I've been dealing with juveniles for about 3 years now. And I've seen I had to send a lot of teens to like the emergency room to get evaluated because they're threatening suicide. And it's for various reasons. Since June of this year, I've participated in about 4 suicides in one area, one town. And there was several happening throughout the parish. So it's an
For
epidemic
various
that's-
reasons.
for various
Has anybody
reasons.
identified the reasons?
Well, I think that as far as in the mental health area and the addiction area that we cover, we know that people who are depressed but with less of the avenue of talking about and having a support system, like you had talked about, was it wasn't that necessarily that there was anything wrong with you, it was different, and that no one asked sometimes the very question, are you depressed? Are you ever think about suicide? Have you ever planned it? Have you ever, and any of those
Thought
questions?
about it.
Yeah, I think they're questions that people don't want to breach, yet need to breach with their family and friends, because that doesn't create an atmosphere wanting to do it.
And I know that depression is a disease, and it's a treatable disease.
Absolutely.
And if we can just identify people quickly, I mean, that's how I see it.
Very
If
hard
we
to detect, though. It's very hard to detect. I mean, walk around like a normal person, but you never know what's going on in their minds.
Right.
You know?
And for you as a teenager, I mean, did you just have days of depression?
I would come home from school, go straight to my bedroom, and would just contemplate, figure out which would be easiest, which would be, strangely enough, wouldn't hurt my parents as much as to how I did it. I had tried hanging myself, but the rope broke. And I thank God for that, because that's the big thing that I try to reach out to the kids that I work with now, and even adults, that there is hope. To don't give up, and that there are people out there that do understand. And it's something that hard to understand, but sometimes it just takes people to be there, to be a support.
And I thank God for you.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Because, we have to accept what God allows. And God allowed you to be able to
Yes,
sit
ma'am.
here today and tell somebody the story. And that is so great. And I am so glad to have all of you here to address the issue, to know what's going on around us. Sometimes we just have family members where we just don't know. Or we're just not that in touch with people, or we just don't know.